The topic of my speech is drones, as I was thinking of a topic for my 10th and final speech.
No, not final, please, not final.
You're right, not final, final in this competent communicator
Yes.
program.
Yes.
That's the final part of that program. I could not think of any other topic but drones. The reason I selected this topic was because it was on the news 2 weeks ago when Senator Rand Paul stood in the Congress for 13 hours straight. 13 hours straight and talk about drones and how government is using it. When I thought of that, can I stand for 13 hours? I don't think I can do that. I don't know how he did it, but no restroom break, no water break, no food break, nothing. He just stood there and spoke. So I was pretty impressed. And the reason he did that was not because of any reason other than to safeguard our liberties. And by our, I mean the people of the United States. He was thinking that the Obama administration is going to use drones to kill Americans on the American soil. And he asked the administration, is it possible that you can use drones to kill somebody in the US if you feel they are a threat to the security? And the Obama administration said, we have not done that, and we don't intend to do it. He was like, I'm not satisfied with that answer. Just tell me yes or no. And the administration said, we told you, we haven't done it, and we don't intend to do it. And that pissed him off, and he stood there for 13 hours and just kept talking until Obama administration gave him a clear letter saying, we will not do it. That is against the law. And that, I started thinking, why did that happen? Why that stage was reached where he asked, or where he had to stand 13 hours to get an answer from the administration. And I believe the reason is that we, as the nation, have used drones to kill people around the world without answering to anybody. And also because nobody in the US really asked our government, why are you doing it? Are you doing it the right way or the wrong way? There are no checks, no balances. The drone program, before I go any further, how many of you have heard the word drone before? What do you think it is? One of you.
An unmanned aircraft.
It's
It could be armed or it could be not armed, but it's an unmanned vehicle.
Right, so it's an airplane, just like any other airplane. The only difference is it's flown by a remote control. And it can be flown by somebody who's sitting on the other side of the world. So somebody sitting in California, maybe flying a drone in Afghanistan or any place else. The drone could be armed or unarmed, so they can fire a missile, kill people, and then the drone will just land wherever it lands. So that's what a drone is. And a couple of years ago, the first time I heard about drone is when it was used in Pakistan. Now, I'm from Pakistan. I was born there, moved here in '98. So I hear a lot more about drones just because I follow news related to Pakistan. And as I was preparing for this presentation, I found this chart, if you can pass this along. It just shows the number of airstrikes that have been done using drones outside of the US. It shows 3 countries. Or can I have a copy? Yes. Before I speak of something that's not on the chart. So you can say drones have been used since around 2002, and it started in Yemen. And the other countries which have drone activity right now is Pakistan and Somalia, Pakistan being the biggest one. As you can see, in 2009, when Obama administration took over, the drones were already being in use, but their use kept increasing. And it seems like 2010 is the biggest year, and now it's again on decline. So what are the drones used for? They are used for hunting terrorists in the lawless northwestern part of Pakistan where the government does not have its writ. It's a tribal region, people just do what they feel like doing. There are a lot of terrorists who have moved in there once the US invaded Afghanistan, and it's kind of a safe haven because it's not part of Afghanistan, so US forces cannot legally go there. Pakistan Army also does not have a full control on it, so it's kind of a no man's land. And the best way that US government thought of to tackle this problem is to send in drones, because that way we can avoid any casualties. So there are no foots on the ground, there are no boots on the ground, which saves our soldiers, and we still end up killing the bad guy. So is there anything wrong with that? Is there anything wrong with using a drone to kill a bad guy? Question for you guys. There's nothing wrong, right? There are bad guys out there, we send a drone, they kill them, nobody gets hurt except the bad guy. I agree with you 100%. The problem that I see in this policy that our government has been using is that those drones are being operated by CIA, not by the Air Force or the Army. So the total control of those drones was given to CIA, which is a secret agency. So this whole program is a secret program. So officially, US government does not operate drones. If the United Nations asks us, do you guys operate drones in Afghanistan? The answer is, no, we don't. Those are not our drones. And that is where the problem lies. The CIA is a secret agency, not accountable to anybody, and they are killing people over there. And a couple of years ago, according to New York Times, the Obama administration created a legal what they called it legal crafting, where the Obama administration said, if a drone strikes a house or a compound in those lawless regions, all adult males in that zone, who are in the zone, will be considered combatants or terrorists. Enemy combatants. So whether it was one person who they were targeting, but his family was there, if the family gets killed, they will not be considered as civilians. By doing that, they can officially say that we are killing all the bad guys. No civilians are getting hurt. So that is my only concern. That why I'm talking about it is because I want all of us to know that the government, the US government, we have a great democratic system, and we should all make sure that we educate ourselves what our government is doing. Things that are done behind closed doors, in a secret way, have a big chance, there's a greater probability of things going wrong. And we should ask our government why things are being done in the secret. Yesterday morning, I was coming to work, I heard on the radio that there's a possibility that this drone program will now be moved over to the US Air Force. That was the best thing I heard this morning, that once that will happen, all these attacks, all these strikes will be official. They will have a record on it. If something goes wrong, people will know about it. US Air Force will have to be accountable for their actions. So that's what I really want all of you guys to know. Educate yourself about this program. Be involved in the political process, just like Senator Rand Paul did. He saw a problem. He saw a possibility of drones being used in the US against US citizens, because drones are being used against US citizens outside of US. So the President of the United States have the authority to kill a US citizen anywhere outside of the US without providing him or her a due course to defend themselves. I'll end my speech with some numbers that I collected, that there have been a total of 350 drone strikes around the world. In the